Have you ever wondered why toxic people seem to target certain people over and over again? It's not always because they're stronger. It's not because they're smarter. And it's definitely not because there's something wrong with you. More often than not, it's because of a few subtle habits that quietly signal, you can treat me however you want. The frustrating part is that most people don't even realize they're sending those signals. But once you recognize them, everything begins to change. People who once pushed your boundaries start backing away. People who overlooked you begin treating you with more respect. And some people may even become uncomfortable because the version of you they've grown accustomed to is disappearing. That's not a bad thing. That's growth. Today, I want to share 5 powerful shifts that can help you stop attracting disrespect and start commanding respect instead. Let's begin. Number 1, stop reacting to everything. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving immediate emotional reactions to every negative comment, criticism, or insult. Someone says something rude. Your face changes. Your voice becomes defensive. You rush to explain yourself. You try to prove them wrong. And without realizing it, you've handed them control. Here's something important to understand. Many toxic people aren't interested in the actual conversation. They're interested in the reaction. The reaction is the reward. The moment they see they've affected your emotions, they know they've gotten under your skin. Now imagine the opposite. Someone says something intended to provoke you. Instead of reacting, you stay calm. You pause. You breathe. You remain completely unbothered. Suddenly the dynamic changes. The game becomes boring for them. Because the outcome they wanted never arrives. The next time someone tries to provoke you, don't rush to respond. Pause. Count to 3. Then answer calmly if an answer is even necessary. Sometimes a simple, okay, interesting, I see, is far more powerful than a 5-minute argument. The strongest people don't react to everything. They choose carefully where their energy goes. Number 2, stop over-explaining yourself. Many people believe that if they just explain themselves clearly enough, everyone will understand. So they explain everything. Why they made a decision. Why they said no. Why they changed their mind. Why they chose a different path. And often the more they explain, the weaker they appear. Why? Because excessive explanations can unintentionally communicate uncertainty. It's as if you're asking for permission to make your own choices. Confident people understand something different. Not every decision requires approval. Not every choice requires a detailed defense. Sometimes the most powerful answer is simply, that's what I decided, that's what works for me, I felt it was the right choice, and then moving on. You don't need everyone to agree with your decisions. You don't need everyone to understand them. Your life belongs to you. The people who genuinely respect you will respect your choices. The people who constantly demand explanations often aren't seeking understanding. They're seeking control. Learn the difference. Number 3, create consequences for disrespect. This is where many people struggle. Someone disrespects them repeatedly. Cancels plans without consideration. Talks down to them. Ignores boundaries. Treats them poorly. And yet nothing changes. No consequence follows the behavior. As a result, the other person learns an important lesson. I can continue doing this. Human behavior follows patterns. What gets rewarded continues. What creates consequences often stops. Now, this doesn't mean becoming aggressive. It doesn't mean arguing. And it doesn't mean seeking revenge. It means quietly protecting your energy. If someone repeatedly treats you poorly, reduce their access to you. Become less available. Stop investing energy where it isn't appreciated. Allow your actions to communicate what your words no longer need to explain. Healthy people respect boundaries. Toxic people become frustrated by them. That's why boundaries are so important. They reveal who truly values your presence and who only valued your availability. Number 4, stop needing everyone to like you. This may be one of the most liberating lessons you'll ever learn. As long as your happiness depends on being liked by everyone, you're giving away your power. Because once someone knows you're desperate for approval, they can influence your behavior. They know you'll stay quiet to avoid conflict. They know you'll say yes when you want to say no. They know you'll tolerate treatment you shouldn't tolerate. The truth is simple, not everyone will like you. And that's perfectly okay. In fact, it's normal. Think about the people you admire most. Do they have universal approval? Of course not. Every strong, authentic person has critics. What makes them powerful isn't that everyone likes them. It's that they don't change who they are to avoid being disliked. The moment you stop chasing approval, something remarkable happens. You become more authentic, more confident, more respected. Because people trust those who are comfortable being themselves, not those who constantly adjust themselves to please everyone around them. Number 5, become comfortable being alone. This is the ultimate shift. Many people tolerate unhealthy relationships, toxic friendships, and disrespectful behavior because they're afraid of being alone. They fear loneliness so much that they accept treatment they know they don't deserve. But confident people understand something important: being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. A person who enjoys their own company becomes incredibly difficult to manipulate. Because they aren't desperate. They aren't clinging. They aren't chasing. They know they'll be okay regardless. When people see that you're genuinely comfortable with yourself, they begin treating you differently. Your attention becomes valuable. Your presence becomes meaningful. Your relationships become healthier. And something interesting happens. The people who only wanted access to you disappear. The people who genuinely care about you stay. Because real relationships don't survive on neediness. They survive on mutual respect. So let's bring this all together. Stop reacting to every provocation. Stop over-explaining your choices. Create consequences for disrespect. Stop needing everyone's approval. And learn to enjoy your own company. These aren't tricks. They're signs of self-respect. And self-respect changes everything. Because once people realize they can't control your emotions, your decisions, or your happiness, they stop seeing you as someone they can walk over. They start seeing you as someone who knows their worth. And that's a completely different person. So here's my challenge for you. Choose one of these habits. Just one. Practice it this week. Maybe it's pausing before reacting. Maybe it's saying no without explaining. Maybe it's spending time alone without feeling guilty. Start small. Stay consistent. And watch what changes. You may be surprised by how quickly people begin treating you differently when you start treating yourself with respect first. Thank you for watching. And if this message resonated with you, let me know which habit you're going to focus on first. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you in the next video.